Hey, I'm Candra. I am a CrossFitter here at CrossFit Branson. I am a mom and wife to Noah, and I'm a restaurant manager here in Branson at Big Cedar Lodge.
Awesome. Well, I am Noah, husband to Candra, father of Connor and Oliver. I am a coach here at CrossFit Branson, if you didn't know, for the past year and a half. I was previously the kids coach for 2 years before that, so I've been coaching here for 3.5 years. So pretty excited. Member for 6.
And also, what other role do you have?
And I'm the general manager.
Right. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Can't forget.
And so 6 years ago, you guys showed up to change your life, but had no idea 6 years would pass and you'd probably be sitting right here doing the things you guys are doing.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not. I mean, 6 years ago, I was close to 300 pounds.
I was over 300 pounds.
And wasn't even close to imagining that I would be a fitness coach of any kind, or a manager at a business like this at all.
Yep.
So I never thought
nutrition.
I would be on this path at all. I remember after that first year being called an athlete for the first time in my life. I mean, that one really struck a chord with me because I had never considered myself an athlete whatsoever. That was at our first Christmas party that we had together. And I remember you distinctly calling us all athletes that night, and that really struck a chord with myself. But over my time now to where I can influence others and help others in the community as well make great choices.
You've also been a nutrition coach.
I've been a nutrition coach for us here.
What was a problem or problems that you guys were struggling with before you started working out with us?
I think one for me in particular was keeping up with 2 boys. I was well over 320 pounds when I first started, and reflecting 6 years ago, our boys would have been 9 and 4 at the time. Very active, very wanting to do everything, anything, and then just not being able to keep up with them at the park or out, just grocery shopping. Like, just feeling awful about myself and not being able to set an example for them was probably the biggest thing that was holding us back.
I mean, I think for me, it's like one of the more important things is to be someone that they can look up to. And I was a big mess. I was not healthy, and they need someone to look up to and something to become. I wanted to be their superhero. Our children.
Your problems were you were struggling with being there for your kids.
Yeah, struggling with that. So, and seeing for her, dad to have passed away from diabetes and obesity related issues, we're wow, we need to be there for them.
Right, because we were going down that path, but at a faster, accelerated rate than my father did, which made us really scared because he had his health issues in his 50s and we were in our 30s and we were already seeing some of those signs.
Yeah. So reverse it.
So what did it feel like to struggle with once you made that decision to change the trail? It wasn't this paved trail this way, paved trail that way.
Oh no, it's not paved.
Right. What did it feel like to struggle and maybe still struggle with things? What's it feel like to struggle with that, trying to solve those problems?
Said the path is not paved. It's full of boulders, washout spots. You come in here
down trees.
But when you're on the trail,
bears.
When you're on the trail, you just slowly get around these obstacles. Take baby steps to get around. Might take a long time, but you're gonna get there.
Yeah. I think one thing for me is I've had a philosophy for a while is I can always put one foot in front of the other, and it's something that I've learned from other people in the fitness world as well. But left foot, right foot, especially when it comes to an unpaved trail or an unpaved path that has those obstacles and boulders in front of it, is you can always put another foot in front of the other. Even if you're crawling, you can always put another foot in front of the other.
What made you decide to give CrossFit Branson or our program, specifically our program, a try here?
Well, I think for me, that first class that we came into, we felt very welcomed. We already felt like we were part of a community during that first class, and I remember it distinctly. It was just cool that we started building that community relationship, and then a week later we were contemplating we're going to sign up and all of these things. And like, it was always, yeah, we're going to be part of this community. I think it was part of the community that really drove us in here.
Well, and I've worked out in places before, what we say it all the time, the Globo Gym. You know, never had I been in a group class. That really intrigued me. Once I got to the point where I knew names and that we were all struggling together on the floor, sucking wind, sweating, making sweat angels on the floor, realizing that, wow, we're all doing this together.
To get better.
So 6 years ago, our service has probably changed a lot, but
Just like any business does.
just like any business has, what's different about our service that maybe, I know like you had in the past, and you kind of just described it there, but anything else that what you think can differentiate our service compared to anything else that you guys are familiar with?
I think our level of accountability that we're at now with our members is way different than it used to be, and in a more positive, influential way, to where people connect with me to make sure that they know that Noah knows that they did something because he's their accountability coach, or their, just his CrossFit coach in general. They want to make sure that they've been accountable to him just as much as you've been accountable to them as well.
I like the idea of more of the health of it that we have in it now. Like, yes, sure, we can be friendly competitors and do stuff like
Yeah, but
that.
it's for the longevity for
But
us now.
exactly. It's more about the longevity than it is about, being super competitive.
Tell us about the moment when you realized our unique approach was actually working to solve your problem.
Honestly, like, there was no one thing. It was really like, I'm slowly understanding this. But just like I'm slowly getting, and this is a great analogy, going from sick to well.
What is better in your life now that the problem you guys mentioned earlier is solved or is being solved? What's better now?
Well, I think quite a few things. Like, I think our family relationships, I think our personal relationships are stronger. Learning how to manage our time is also stronger too. I think that's specifically something that I've worked on in the past 3 or 4 years as well, is we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Is, okay, so how can we manage that 24 hours better and make it better for not only me, but for who we're right here with?
So it's like you learn discipline in just fitness and nutrition, and it kind of just blended and went over into other aspects of your
absolutely. It pours over into everything. It really does. And if you start taking care of yourself, and this is one thing I talk to my clients about when I was coaching nutrition, is you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And now that we are taking care of ourselves, it is easier to take care of others.
And last question, guys, and then I'll let you if you have anything else, but why does solving that problem, why does that matter to you guys?
Well, I want to live past 64.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest thing that is on my radar right now. I want to be there for our kids, and showing them the example, because I wasn't taught that example, is probably the biggest thing for me.
Like, I was raised, eventually my parents gave up trying to make me eat vegetables. They were like, okay, you eat fruit, whatever, But, and they never tried to control my portion sizes. They never made me exercise, technically, And I don't want to be the father that's like, no, you gotta do CrossFit.
Right.
Or else you're not gonna, you're gonna have a hard time. I don't want to be like that.
We don't want it to backfire,
but,
too.
Right.
It can with kids.
It can with kids. It can be dangerous. But in the end, I want us, by doing this, I want us to be that example. We don't necessarily have to say, hey, you need to come to the gym. They need to be like, okay, I'm ready, I want to be fit like you.
They know it's available.
They know,
and maybe when they get to a point that they realize the importance of it, the availability is always there. It's like,
Right.
My parents did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time.
And even if it's not coming to the gym, it's us going on a walk together. Even just adding in some movement, that was never a thing that was taught to me.
Yeah,
we never went on a
same
walk
with
as
me.
a family.
No, we went hiking sometimes. That's why I have a love of adventure and hiking and stuff. But that was about it. We never intentionally
But then
exercised.
you weren't fit to do that hike.
Right. It was hard.
It was hard.
It was hard.
Where now we're capable of doing those things and we can actually enjoy it instead of huffing and puffing through
Oh
it.
man, I remember hiking down to the goat trail one time on the Buffalo River, and then coming back up that hill, and I was like, I can't
no
do
joke.
it.
Good
And
old Ozark Hill.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely it is.
It is a good old Ozark Hill. Couldn't do it, and I was like, 9, so I had to brake like 15 times going up that hill. I don't want that to happen to them. CrossFit Branson's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's simply put, it's one of the best things I've ever done for myself. I've made a career of it. I think it's going to be, if people watch this, and get anything out of this, I want them to know that this place is one of the best community things that you can do.
Absolutely. You build those relationships and it builds that community, and then you have friends check in on you, and you have, get-togethers with your community that you never thought you would have in the past. But like for me, like if the viewers are watching to get anything out of this, like 6 years ago, me can do this, like anyone can do this. You can always come in and it's totally scalable for everyone, and it's not intimidating as we thought it was. I mean, when we first came in, we thought it was going to be completely different than what it was. And it's totally just an open environment to have fun with your friends, and you get some great workout during it.
Awesome.
Love this place.
Yeah.
Awesome.
2 thumbs up.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Yeah.